Hi guys, Bronson with Aloha Pools and Spas out of Jackson, Tennessee. Today I want to talk about the Connect 10. This is a control box for your swim pool equipment. In here you have two ways to run your pool, auto and service mode. When you click the pool into service mode, you can control your pumps and filters with these buttons right here, depending on what channel they're wired to. We've got our filter, which is our main pump. The light is on channel 2. Our cleaner is on channel 3. Turns the pump off. This is a manual control. If you want to use the auto situation, click it to auto. You're in auto now. That turns on your timers. We're going to talk about how to set the timers a little later on. Service and auto. Timed out. Typically, most pool owners will not use this function. It is if you had a cleaning service coming by to put chemicals in to service the pool. They can put it on timed out. It will run the pool until a series of times, and then it will put it back into auto mode. Typically, you're not going to need that. All right, let's get started on the programming of this control. For now, this is the primary home screen. Once it's set up, all off, we'll shut the system down. It's a one button, turns everything off. All auto turns everything back on. It puts everything that you're about to see timer-wise, turns it all back on. So if you needed to clean the basket or clean the filter, you can just hit all off and it shuts everything down for you to clean whatever it is you need to clean. Polaris, skimmer baskets, so forth. Okay, we'll go to menu. If you're just setting this up and you want to do it yourself, this is how you get started. First thing you want to do is go to setup, hit set time, dial in the time. Pretty self-explanatory. Hit done. Next menu. This is your installation setup. The code to get into the main is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. In this mode, it's telling you what the setup is arranged right now. So you got channel 1 is a filter pump. That's what we've got here. Channel 3 is your cleaner pump. So this is correct. Channel 2 is the light. You would go to the next screen. If you wanted to change that, go with installation setup. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you would go to change. Typically, Aloha is going to set this up for you, so you wouldn't really need to get into this setting. If you needed to change something, if you added a different piece of equipment later, you added an automatic valve, this would be a way you could go and add that channel to it, is in that service. And you simply follow the setup wizard. It's pretty self-explanatory. Otherwise, call Aloha and we will set it up for you. Okay. We're back in our menu board. We want to set the timers up. You have 4 timers that this pool will run on. When you set a timer up, keep in mind that the first timer, every timer thereafter, overrides the timer before it. So what that means, this pool is set up, is timer 1. If I can get it to change. Okay, timer 1. This pool is going to kick on at 12:01 a.m. and it's going to turn off at 11:58 p.m. So it's basically running 24 hours a day. If you wanted your pump to run for 12 hours a day, you would simply adjust when you want it to come on and when you want it to go off. Now, if you have an automatic cleaner or with a booster pump, the cleaner has to be set up at the same time. The cleaner pump has to run the same time that the main pump is running. So you want whatever the window of opportunity of cleaning, filtering your pool, you want the cleaner to come on at the same time that pump is set up. So right now at 24 hours a day, you could pretty much have your cleaner come on at any time you wanted. On the same timer one setup, timer one, we go to setup on the end, and you're going to tell this timer what to use during that setting. We're using pool mode. We've selected the filter pump. That's the only thing that it's going to come on during that time, unless you set another timer up. And remember, I said the latter timer will override the timer before. So I'll show you how we turn on the cleaner. Filter pump, 24 hours a day. Now, timer 2, it's set up 3 o'clock to 6 a.m. It's going to come on at 3 in the morning, turn off at 6. You hit done, you go to setup, it's in pool mode. Now, we're having the filter pump come on, because remember, you have to have your filter pump running to have your cleaner pump, booster pump running. I've also got cleaner turning on. So it's going to turn on. This timer now will override the first timer, and it will allow you to run both pumps from 3 to 6. That means your pool will be clean between 3 and 6. It's 3 o'clock and 6 in the morning. Now, if you want to change your times, if you want to cut it back where you're only running for 12 hours a day, there's different theories on how long to run your pool. Your neighbors are going to tell you, I don't run my pool but so many hours a day. This is the thing, your backyard is different from your neighbor's backyard. If your pool's not running, it's a saltwater system like you see here, you're not producing chlorine. So in the summertime, when it's hot, you need to be producing chlorine. I have never found a system that someone is turning it off their pump for half the time, say 12 hours a day. When you're not producing chlorine and you're turning your pump off, yes, you are saving electricity. I don't know if you'll save enough electricity cost-wise to overset the amount of chemicals you're going to have to buy. That's something you will need to figure out in your backyard. Running it 24 hours a day when the weather gets up 90 degrees and above is my recommendation. You need to determine that, what works for you. This pool is set up to run 24 hours a day. The cleaner comes on at 3 to 6, but that's how you change it. If you wanted to add another timer and you wanted the cleaner to come on again, you could hit timer 3, change the times. You could have it come on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and turn off at 4. That way it's got the pool cleaned up and ready for you when you get off work. You would simply need to set the time, hit the setup, and select it. Pool mode, select your pump and your filter mode and the cleaner mode in order to run during that time. It will override the timer prior to it, since that timer is not engaged, which would be the 3 to 6 a.m. It would override the timer, which would be your number 1 timer. So the latter timer overrides the other one if whichever one's engaged. But again, you're turning on your filter pump and your cleaner pump, so it's just turning your system into cleaning mode. Four timers to set up however you'd like. Okay, the rest of this on here, depending on what kind of water features you have, what kind of lighting you have, this control will do all sorts of things. I'm going to leave it today with just running the cleaning system, running your timers. There's ways, if you've got an automatic valve, it'll turn on your valves if you want to do it automatically. At the personal pool schools that Aloha offers, we'll talk more in depth at that point. But this is how you set your timers up, guys.